Platform businesses rely on value creation from the ecosystem, from resources and users that come in from outside. And so the way value creation changes is that platform businesses don't own the resources, they just understand data and information about the resources, which enables them to then manage interactions around access and allocation of these resources. Now, because they don't own the resources, they start benefiting from network effects, where as more producers from the ecosystem come in with their resources, more consumers are attracted, and more consumers come in, more producers are attracted. So that's how value creation in a platform business is different from traditional businesses, which I think of as a pipeline business, which rely on resource control and allocation through control. Now, talking about value capture in a platform business then comes down to two things. What is the data that you control, and what are the interactions that you can then enable based on that data? So essentially, you're either monetizing the interaction or you're monetizing access to the data that enables the interaction. We've seen big platforms across a lot of consumer industries. We've seen e-commerce, communication, transportation. A lot of the common consumer needs have been addressed by platforms. What we're now seeing is potentially huge platforms coming up in traditional industries, financial services, healthcare, trade, logistics, energy. And this is where I believe the next big unicorn platforms and even traditional companies moving in this direction will start building the next big platforms in these industries. Traditional organizations have a unique advantage in the sense that they have assets which can be leveraged towards platform business models, but they suffer from a scenario where they cannot innovate enough internally to transform their business model completely towards platforms. So what we're seeing traditional organizations do, the few that are able to leverage their assets, they have built really good platforms around those assets. The weather company is one such example. It's always been in the business of acquiring weather data, and now it's built a data platform around that. Walgreens is a pharmacy that's been in the business of selling medicines, and now it's building a platform around that access to the user. So traditional companies have done well when they've understood the assets they have and how they can organize an ecosystem around it. In other scenarios, traditional companies have tried to partner with platforms, but what's really important when you partner with platforms is to watch out for cases where the platform can commoditize you, because you need to avoid that commoditization. You need to have something critical, something unique that you provide to the platform, because of which the platform does not have that amount of negotiation leverage over you. So that's really important as a traditional company. The future of the platform economy, what I'm really excited about and keenly observing is how it impacts geopolitics. Because today we have companies like Alibaba with their electronic world trade platform directly competing with countries. Countries are their customers, but also countries that want to provide the trade infrastructure have to now compete with Alibaba. So there's a lot of, if you look at the biggest ecosystems, they're as big as countries today. Alibaba, Facebook, Amazon. Look at Facebook. Facebook is coming up with a new monetary system around Libra and Calibra, and that again pits it against countries. So we repeatedly see this scenario coming up where platforms will have an important role to play in the future geopolitical scenario. And so what I'm really looking forward to see is what will determine the competitiveness of countries in themselves versus platforms. How will countries compete versus one another? We already see the trade war between the US and China, and increasingly these kinds of factors will become platform related questions as well.